Hello, I'm Kim, and this here's Pigeon. Welcome. I see there are 3 of you tuned in. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you joined early and are foam rolling, feel free to continue to do so throughout the intro. You might also use this time to finish getting set up. I suggest having lots of different props. So I have soft, flexible props. A yoga mat works, but I've got folded blankets. A towel also works. And then some thicker, soft props, such as these pillows, and then some stiffer props. I've got yoga blocks and a foam roller. Books and Tupperware also work well. Not on screen that you might also want to consider as props are empty wall space, and any sturdy furniture can also be really handy props. I will not be playing music on my end of the camera, but you're welcome to on yours. The benefit of doing this practice on YouTube Live is not being able to watch each other and compare yourself to others. So you can really focus on just having your own experience, a judgment-free experience, yet still knowing we've set aside this time for this experience together. We will begin with a short movement flow, followed by a seated meditation. Tonight we'll be doing 3 yin postures before final relaxation. If the pose that we're doing doesn't suit you, feel free to choose your own movement, exercise, or meditation as a substitute. There will also be transition time between each yin posture for movement or stillness of your choice. During this time, there is no right position or correct alignment because there'll be no force applied and there is no progression goal. For each yin posture, I will demonstrate several different options and variations, starting with minimal props or no props, and then adding variations and props. In either case, whatever they're propping, I'll suggest where you might want to feel lines of fascial tension, that connective tissue that we're going to hope to release and find a little space in without using any muscular holding or contraction. While I demonstrate, I really encourage you to use that time to explore different setups and different options, even if you've done this many times before. And then after my demonstration, I will return to a seated position to watch the time for 2 to 3 minutes. The position you land in should feel safe and comfortable to release all muscular holding and tension while experiencing quiet sensations. This is a practice of patience, stillness, and subtlety. Let's begin. So for our movement flow, we're going to begin on your back. So just make your way to lying on your back. Lying on your back in a comfortable position, you might just have your arms on your body, but you might also extend them out to the sides. There we go. To give you a little anchor, I'm going to have my feet hip distance apart or slightly wider and on the ground, and I'm going to switch my knees side to side. And I'm just going to apologize, my floors are incredibly creaky. But swishing your knees side to side, you can choose to pause at each swish and take a deep breath. Or you can move at a slightly faster pace, whatever feels good for you. And then letting that come to a close, we're going to bring the feet together and knees together, feet still on the floor. And then with the feet together and knees together, keeping those glued together, again, we are going to swish the knees back and forth. And just notice how it feels different. It's going to feel similar, but with a slightly different emphasis in your body. And again, you might choose to move with your breath, exhaling, inhaling, switching, exhaling, inhaling, switch. And you can move with your breath, or you can do a faster switch.
And then letting that come to a close. We're going to have the feet together, knees together, and bring the knees up towards your chest. Bringing your knees up towards your chest, using your abdominals to help bring those knees as close as you can. Oh, and there goes pigeon. You can have your feet flexed or pointed or just soft and relaxed. And then using your arms to help anchor you, letting your knees go off to one side. And notice how it feels different as you go off to one side. Try not to let the knees drift away and get the feet back on the floor, but keeping those knees up towards your chest. And then switching to the other side. And this one, because it's a little bit bigger and more of a torso twist, try not to go too fast so we get a little more spine involvement and upper body involvement. You might move on your breath, perhaps exhaling in the twist, inhaling to center, exhaling to twist. You can do a full round of breath in each side, or you can simply move back and forth at your own pace. One side might feel like it needs a little more time than the other. That's okay. Taking your time. Then doing another swish or two. And when you're ready, rolling to your side, using your arm to help you sit up. And then we're going to do one more variation of that. I'm going to sit back with my hands leaning back and my knees up. Actually, I'm going to turn sideways. I have a little more room. Knees up, and then I'm going to let my knees swish side to side from an upright position. And again, you can find your own pace, moving with your breath. You can move with your breath in different breath rhythms. Taking another round or two. And then we'll just come back to a seated position. For our meditation, we'll want to sit into a comfortable upright position. And if you have a chair nearby, there is absolutely nothing wrong with sitting in a chair with your feet on the ground and a tall spine for your meditation. If you're going to be on the floor, if that's more convenient or comfortable for you, I strongly suggest sitting up on a prop. And you can do sit up on a prop. I've got a yoga block. I could use multiple other things. Sit as high as you want with your legs folded back. With your legs out in front of you. Or your legs crossed. In either case, hips up, propped up, give you a little more space in the hips, knees, hopefully relieve a little pressure for the ankles, and of course padding any place you've got contact with the ground. So finding that comfortable seated position, figuring out how high you want to be propped up with your hips, or if in your chair, where you're scooting forward or backwards into the chair. Settling in, you can have your palms down, up, or clasped in your lap. Eyes closed, or a soft, steady gaze on the floor in front of you. As you settle in, sitting in stillness, allow yourself to observe and recognize any resistance to simply sitting. If your mind wanders, if you feel the urge to do something else, to move, allow yourself to notice that distraction, notice that impulse, and then bring your mind to your breath. Allow yourself to observe the details, the intricacies of the sensation of air flowing in and out. Notice all the little movements that occur with each breath. It is a normal, ongoing cycle to notice distractions, impulses, sensations, feelings, allowing yourself to notice them without following them, and coming back to your breath. We repeat that over and over. lengthen and deepen your breath. Notice the change of sensation in your body as you do so. Gently nod your chin towards your chest. Open your eyes and reintroduce movement wherever it calls to you. I'm going to begin moving my props to just the other side of my space. We're going to be doing a forward fold, a variation on a forward fold that should allow you to feel lines of fascial tension, that connective tissue tension in the back of your body, from the soles of your feet to the back of your ankles to your calves, along the behind your knees, the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back, along the spine. Sorry, pigeon. So, normally when we've done this in the past, it's with, pigeon. Okay, there you go. It's with both legs out in front and without any props. I would just have both legs in front and forward fold. Today we're going to do one leg at a time. So I'm going to take one leg and get it out of the way. I can either do that by having my sole of my foot against the other thigh, or just anywhere in this sort of folded position here. Or I can do so by folding back behind me. If I fold back behind me, I can have my leg fairly parallel and close, or I can really open up that hip and send it further back. Couple options. Other options are how propped up your hips are. For me personally, when I'm in this position with my heel just padded for the ground, the pressure on the ground, I actually can't lean forward very much. And I want gravity to help me in this really passive, long held position. So, propping up on, prop up on both the block and the pillow. So I've got an option of what to do with the non-extended leg. I've got an option how propped up to be. When I do this in other places, I often will sit up on a footstool or even a chair to get up higher. And then other options are how to prop the extended leg, and it's the extended leg that we're feeling the line of fascial tension from the sole of the foot all the way back through the leg, along the spine, possibly further up. So if I've propped up, if the gap between my knee and the floor is too great and that feels like too much extension, too dangerous to really relax into, I might prop underneath my knee. I might choose, depending on the position, a pointed foot flat on the ground or just a foot that's unsupported. I personally really feel more comfortable and feel like I get a better line when my foot is propped, and so I've got just the block here to give myself a little more firm propping for my foot. Feels more sturdy. So one more option, I can fold forward And I can just do so in a relaxed position, or I can fold forward and rest my head on something. And I might choose to fold forward off to one side or the other. Wherever you choose to stay in your right now, adjusting all these different variables, wherever you choose to stay, again, it should feel really comfortable. It should feel very supported. This should be a gravity-assisted passive stretch. And now letting go of any fidgeting and fussing. Letting yourself sink in. Letting go of effort, trying, striving. Trust your body. Let gravity do the work. Let your breath be enough. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. And then use these breaths to help you come up gently and slowly. And then you might choose to simply bring that leg in. You could do some self-massage. Right, giving those toes squeezes, squeezing that foot, ankle, rolling the ankle. You could choose some standing movements. You could choose to simply sit and observe the changes. And then when you're ready, setting up the other side. So having one leg extended and the other leg can be folded. You can choose how you want to fold that leg, what position, and this side might be very different. It might want a different pose, and that's okay. You do not have to do the same thing on this side. Then thinking about how you want to be propped from underneath the hips, more or less. You might want to prop underneath the knee, but sometimes having a gap and not having anything underneath the knee actually can feel like a really good opening. So it just depends on how that feels for you. And then again, depending on where you are, if having a pointed toe feels like a really nice stretch or just a relaxed ankle, that can certainly be a good option. Otherwise, figuring out where you want to be supported. And then, of course, figuring out which way you want to lean to. And if you want support and propping underneath the forehead, sometimes letting the head hang can feel like great release in the back of the neck. It can feel like a wonderful aid to gravity and to really letting yourself fall into the opening. But sometimes it just feels too much, and if it feels too much or too unstable, your body will naturally tense and protect you, and muscles will contract. So figuring out how much support is really an important part of the process. So setting up this other side. Making those final adjustments to your props. And then settling in. As you stay in a pose, sensations will change. Allow that change to happen. Simply observe those changes. This is a practice where we are open to whatever changes arise without needing to force or create change. When your mind wanders, use your breath as your guide back into your body. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. breaths to reintroduce movement. And it might feel good to do some self-massage. Might choose just some stillness. Taking any movement or stillness that works for you. And when you're ready, setting up for our next Yin posture. For this one, we're going to switch from the back of the body to the front of the body. So we're going to begin lying on your side. I think last week we began with top arm grabbing bottom leg. In this case, we're going to have top arm grabbing top leg. And you can always use a strap or a blanket or any prop to help you make that reach. And then from there, I'm going to lean back and I can tuck my toe on the ground behind me and just leave it there. I might leave it there and lean forward actually. I might choose, in this case, to let my foot prop on my bookcase, and that's actually a wonderful spot for my leg. And I'm feeling long lines of stretch from the top of my ankle, shin, the knee, in the quad, hip flexor, into the abdomen. Other options are to bring that leg onto the ground and then roll towards my back. And then from my back, I might leave my arms down, or that same leg that's being folded that I'm getting the stretch on, I might, pigeon, bring it up, and I would normally put it where pigeon is, but right, pigeon is there. Oh, that's very cozy. I'll leave my arm there. So in this case, feeling stretch in the front of my body on my entire right side. Oh, bye pigeon. And then propping as always. So I might prop underneath my ankle, underneath my knee. I might prop underneath the arm. If a halfway roll feels really good, I could take pillows and prop behind my back so that I can stay in sort of a half roll position. So go ahead and get creative with your propping. And then settling in. Letting your muscles be soft. Letting go of tension and effort everywhere. In the line of fascial tissue, but also anywhere you hold tension that is not serving you, anywhere it has no purpose. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. And use these breaths to reintroduce. Sorry, pigeon was on the microphone. Use these breaths to help you come out. I'm going to roll back to the direction I started in to release that tucked foot. And you might choose any movement or stillness. You might simply lie on your back. You might choose more active counter movement. Not helpful, pigeon. Pigeon, right here. And then we'll do the other side. So I'm going to roll to my other side. Top arm, grabbing top leg. And I don't have the bookcase on this side, but you might move around. So I might tuck on the bookcase, might tuck on the floor. I might choose whether I'm rolling away from the tucked foot or towards, and then propping underneath knee, underneath hip, underneath back, underneath arm. So finding this position, and if this side needs something drastically different, that's okay. Gently lengthening and deepening your breath. Feeling your breath in this position that you've landed in. And then gently coming out in your own time when you're ready, rolling away from the folded leg. And again, taking any transition, movement, or stillness that calls to you. And for our last Yin posture, we're going to move again to the back of the body. So very simply, without any props, I'm going to be in a deep position with my legs. I'm going to start just really wide, head folded.
I'm going to feel lines of stretch again in the soles of the feet, back of the ankles. In this case, we're sort of skipping the back of the leg behind the kneecap and getting a little more into the hips and glutes. And you can choose a wide stance, gets a little bit more into the groin, or a narrow stance, which generally gets a little bit more in the ankles and the feet. And then from here, you might choose many different variations. So if your heels are super high and that's very uncomfortable, if I just come forward and I have my heels propped up by the blanket, or I can even fold the blanket and prop my heels, and that might feel more supported and like a better stretch. Or I might let my heels come off the ground, but if that feels really unsteady, I can either prop my forehead like so, or I can prop by leaning into the bookshelf. If leaning forward doesn't feel as safe or comfortable or doesn't hit you in the right spots, I might also just lean my back up to the bookshelf. And then I'm leaning further back and it just changes the emphasis. So go ahead and make your adjustments. Oh, and you can also prop underneath your hips at various heights. So propping underneath the heels, changing the forward or backwards lean, leaning your back or your forehead into something, propping underneath your hips. Making your final adjustments and then settling in. Letting each breath be an opportunity to explore the spaces in your body.
Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. Feeling how these breaths move in your body and change the sensation. And then gently using these breaths to come out. And taking any movement or stillness that you desire before our final relaxation. When you're ready, getting yourself positioned to be supported in relaxation, you might choose support underneath your head or neck. I would use these blankets, but Pigeon is on them and I won't be disturbing her. You might cover your eyes. That gentle pressure might feel welcome. You might choose to prop underneath the knees. Getting yourself in a comfortable, fully supported position. Not looking for any lines of tension or stretch. Imagine a small ball of white light. Wherever this ball of light touches or passes through, it spreads a sensation of peace, of ease, of comfort. Imagine this white ball of light hovering over your head. Watch it descend into your midbrain and then slide down into your throat, into your chest. Wherever this ball of light touches or passes through, it spreads a sensation of peace and comfort. Watch it slide over to your right shoulder, and then your right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, first finger, second finger, third, fourth, sliding through the palm of your hand to your elbow, up to your shoulder, into your chest, sliding over to your left shoulder, left elbow, wrist, thumb, first finger, second, third, fourth, sliding through the palm of your hand to your wrist, elbow, shoulder, chest. Sliding down your spine, through your abdomen, behind your navel, into your pelvis and your tailbone. This ball of light spreading peace and comfort to your right hip, right knee, ankle, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth, sliding through the sole of your foot to your ankle, knee, hip, tailbone, over to your left hip, left knee, ankle, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth, sliding through the sole of your foot to your ankle, knee, hip, tailbone, sliding up into your pelvis, behind your navel, through your abdomen, into your chest, up into your throat, and then into your midbrain, with your body glowing with comfort, in peace. Let your mind bask in ease by watching your breath flow gently and naturally in and out. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. And use these breaths to Gently reintroduce movement, rolling wrists and ankles, spreading fingers and toes, stretching out long and big before curling tight into a ball, rolling to your side, and using your arms to help you sit up gently and slowly. And then we'll conclude our practice today with 3 breaths together. We'll inhale through the nose and exhale audibly out the mouth. Together, inhale through the nose. One more. Thank you to the 3 of you who joined me this evening. Please share your experience. I'm welcome any feedback, questions, anything that you would like to share. You can do so in the comments of this live stream. You can also email me at kym@zested.net. And then please visit our website. You can join our mailing list. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram to stay tuned and get any fun tips and ideas. And then we'd really appreciate any support. Support could be a donation. You can do that through paypal.me/zested. Anything from $1 to $15 is very helpful. And then you can also spread the word. Share this with friends and family. Thank you. Have a peaceful night.